Georgia not meeting the ridiculous standard. Kirby Smart, you can blame yourself. Welcome into the Voice of College Football, breaking down the game we all love each and every day with you, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us for the College Football Show. And right now, breaking down the Bulldogs of Georgia, failing to claim a national championship after two consecutive in 2021 and 22, and a three-loss season. In many ways, you could depict 2024 as Georgia's worst season since Kirby Smart's first in 2016. On the good side, they beat Texas twice. Texas might have been the second best team in college football. They won the SEC championship, still the best conference in college football. They defeated Clemson by 31 points, the ACC champions. They also dominated a top 10 Tennessee team. On the downside, though, three losses their worst showing since that 2016 season. And in the meantime, they went to Oxford, lost to Ole Miss by 18, a team that they had defeated by 35 the year before. They lost by 2 scores in the college football playoff to Notre Dame, a team that obviously they had taken care of in a couple home and homes going back to 2017. And also there was that win, but it was an 8 overtime win against a marginal Georgia Tech team. Yes, this Georgia team, just not the same this past season. The standards are ridiculous. Kirby Smart has built this program into the best in college football, and despite a down for them at 2024 and failing to complete a undefeated regular season the season before and lost to Bama in the championship game of the SEC, you would still have to consider this to be the program standard in college football, but they're breathing down your necks. They're in Austin and Columbus. Kirby Smart did say this about his coaching staff, that they did the best job that he has seen since he's been in Athens to hold things together and make a run in the playoff. Gunnar Stockton, of course, takes over for Carson Beck. He acquitted himself, certainly didn't blow the top off and play awesome football. He was not outstanding, but he also didn't give up the games against Notre Dame and Texas. 12 for 16 and an overtime win in the SEC championship game against Texas, and then threw for 234, but only 10 points on the board against Notre Dame. An always deep running back room, plagued by injuries in 2024, only ranked 15th in the SEC in rushing, but they bring back this guy, Nate Frazier, who emerged with 609 yards. This is still a deep and talented group, but very inexperienced outside of Josh McCray, the transfer pickup from Illinois, who gained 800 yards in the Big Ten and scored 10 touchdowns. The wide receivers totaled the most drops of anyone in the nation. Goner, Arian Smith, he was a culprit, and also Dominic Levet. Back for the Bulldogs, you got Dylan Bell, 43 catches, 4 touchdowns, and out of the transfer portal, the ultra-quick Zachariah Branch from USC and Texas A&M's top receiver Noah Thomas. The offensive line has been the dominant group that has taken the reins as the SEC #1 program from Alabama a few years ago, but was not up to its standards either in 2024. 3 of the top players, though, move on in the NFL draft, so they still had a ton of talent up there. They only bring back 35 starts. Monroe Feeling moves to left tackle, and Ernest Green is now over on the right side at tackle. And yes, this offensive line is going to have to return to Georgia standards, and they will be helped by one of the best tight ends in college football, the dependable Oscar Delp. Talk about standards. The Georgia defense in 2021 and 22, the best in college football that we've seen for at least a decade. I think one of the most remarkable indicators of dominance, recruiting, developing, and churning out great players to the NFL was watching the Super Bowl in Philadelphia's defensive front, and with 4 starters playing for the Super Bowl champions. But they no longer play for Georgia, and while the Bulldogs have replaced them in the recruiting rankings, they have not gotten that kind of production the last couple seasons, especially in 24. And it could be a rough go by Georgia standards in 25 with Christian Miller and Gabe Harris as the best players up front, most likely. C.J. Allen leads a deep linebacking core. He had 76 tackles last year. You've got Elo Madozi coming in as an all-conference selection at Army. The secondary should be stout with strong safety K.J. Bolden, freshman All-American, 59 tackles and a pick. Julian Humphrey's a good one. as well as right cornerback Dalen Everett, who had 58 tackles at cornerback. He's a physical player. The punter and the place kicker both back. Peyton Wooding hit on 21 of 23, and Brett Thorson nailed these kicks for 48 yards per punt. The Georgia schedule in recent years has typically delivered a huge non-conference game like a Clemson, like an Oregon, but not in 2025. So they get a light touch here with Marshall, Austin Peay, and Charlotte. They always play the ACC rivalry game against Georgia Tech on Thanksgiving weekend. In the SEC, Georgia lost these 3 games on the road at Bama, at Texas, at Ole Miss. And then, of course, we've got the inverse in the SEC this season. So Bama, Texas, and Ole Miss all come to Athens. Good news for Georgia. Florida and Auburn could be better, and those could be the teams that could jump up on Georgia. Of course, Florida really took Georgia to the wire despite having quarterback issues in that game, and DJ Lagway could not finish the game, and the Gators still gave Georgia fits in that one. And again, Florida and Auburn could be better here in 2025, and then the finale again against the Ramblin' Wreck. Add it all up, and we've got Georgia replicating their 10-2 season in 2024, 6-2 in the SEC. They've got the 3 difficult games at home. Let's say they win 2 out of 3 and then trip up on the road, whether that's Florida or Auburn or elsewhere. The Bulldogs will be gunning for an SEC championship. We got them right in the thick of things, but what we saw out of the SEC last season was a 7-1 Texas team. Then we saw a logjam at 6-2 and 5-3. Expect more of the same out of what is top to bottom the best league in the country, and we'll see if Georgia survives. Again, we're going to get together pre-week 0 to go through the entire schedule, pick all the games, do it with you. Should be a fun time. Live stream week 0. We've got a lot of great things planned here at the Voice of College Football, including a national championship reset and all-time program rankings. So keep it locked in here at the Voice of College Football. Join us Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time as well, with the College Football Show. See you next time.